Okay, so guys, welcome to the PGCE 2025-2026. So we're going to go through all about your PGCE, and then afterwards, if you've got any questions, we'll get through them as quick as we can. But I assume after this meeting, all those questions you've got in your head right now are going to be answered. So sorry if I've kept you too long. So guys, my name is Julian. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Englisher, and we work for Leeds Beckett University. On their behalf, we are in charge of the Southeast Asia branch. So we deal with China, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Korea. We've also got Bailan there. She's in this group, and she would be the Chief Financial Officer. She's in charge of all your admissions, anyone who's paying an R&B, or any queries to do with, you know, the numbers side. That would be Bai. And we're going to push straight into Ash. You might see him in your group chats, and he would be our Chief Marketing Officer. He may contact you if you've got any questions. He might give you a survey here and there to fill out. And if you do have any questions, the course in terms of your aftercare, your growth development, you can contact Ash or Alex. So Alex is here in the chat. I'm just going to let her introduce herself. Let me find her.
And what we're here right now, I will do your past due service or authentication. I'm probably going to approach you guys in January, and if you need that, maybe during this time you can think about whether you need it or not, and then when I'm reach out to you, you can let me know whether you want it or not. And because we're going to have our staff in the UK to do your past due service in London, and we're going to in person, we're going to bring it back, just make sure that everything is safe and sound. So that's what I'm doing. And also, because I'm Chinese, if any Chinese students right now, you need some guidance in Chinese language, please feel free to reach out to me. And what another thing I'm doing is the career growth development. So after your PGC graduation, or maybe learning this year, if you encounter some job issues or anything, you want to switch job, you want maybe even you want to move out of China, you can also approach to me, because we can find you some jobs in China or Malaysia, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Vietnam, other Asian countries. Yeah, thank you very much. Feel free to contact me.
Cheers, Alex. Thank you very much. Great. So can everyone see? Gonna mute you there. Okay. So this is Mary. Mary is the course director. So you're going to be receiving a lot of emails from Mary. Mary's going to be doing the induction on the 16th and 18th, and Mary is basically the boss. She's in charge of the whole course, and she has a great background. She's even got her PhD in education, and she specializes in transformative education and digital pedagogy. So you'll hear more from Mary on the 16th. We've got Leanne Buckley. She will be your module leader, so she'll be in charge of module 1 and module 2. So a lot of you will probably do a sit-down one-to-one with Leanne. She will share you her calendar, and you can book yourself a one-to-one, and she'll guide you through your assignments. We also have Tracy Edwards, who's similar role to Leanne, who would be also dealing with module 1 and module 2. Mary will deal with module 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to show you a little bit about the PGCE overview, because we've got a lot of questions coming from you guys, and I just want to make it clear, there's not 6 modules, there's not 10, there's only 3. There's 3 modules, and each module requires you to do a 4,000-word assignment. The last module is a little bit different, which I'm going to talk about later. So the 3 modules, that means there's no exams, there's no practicals, and there's no classes. However, there are some drop-in sessions that you can do, similar to what we're doing right now. There will be weekly sessions that you can join on Microsoft Teams, and the course director and the course module leader will go through a couple of topics with you, what you could write about, some Q&A sessions. But yeah, there's no attendance policy. So even this meeting right now, I know a lot of you have been messaging me saying, oh, do we have to do the meeting separate? Can I join my husband together? Completely fine. There's no attendance policy. You don't even have to be here right now. Even with Mary's courses, your score for the PGCE is 100% based on your assignments. You can join 1,000 sessions within the year, and one guy could just probably log in 0 times, and you might even get the same score. All based on your assignment, how well you've wrote the assignment, how clear and how precise you understood the module goal and what the objective was for that assignment, how well you referenced, and how well you included different, theories, teaching theories from different journal articles, how you would link them together, and then even create a debate within those theories and methods. It sounds a bit scary at first, but once you start the course, you will be very relaxed. It's not going to take up much of your time. It all depends on what student you are. Are you one of those students who are going to put in the hours every week, start reading the journal articles, doing your research, writing your assignment? Or are you one of those students who will just write your assignment the night before the deadline? Because we get all sorts of people coming through, and at the end of the day, it depends on your preference. How are you as a student? We are doing a postgraduate level, so this is a level 7 qualification. So we're not babies here, we are adults and we are teachers. So we expect you guys to, have your own responsibility within the assignment. We shouldn't really be, pushing you like, oh, how well have you done? Did you do that? And we're all teachers here, and to get onto the course, as you know, you need to be full-time teacher. Some of you are in volunteer positions that I know of and placements. That's fine, but we are teachers at the end of the day, so we do respect your full-time job or your teaching hours. So we don't expect you to put in 10 hours a day. We recommend between 4 to 6 hours a week. Study time is more than enough to finish those assignments, and we're going to go through those in detail now. So the module 1, which has the abbreviation of PVP. It stands for Professional Values and Practice, and this is worth 20 credits. The module focuses on the essential teaching values as well as the professional practice. So it explores professional values and practice, strategies for promoting learning, understanding safe and effective learning environments. So during this module, it would ask you a lot about your school. So in the assignment, you can write about your school policies. Now, in China, many schools that you guys are going to be working for don't have a school policy. That's completely fine. You can then just write your assignment based on, my school doesn't have a policy. And then you can go deeper into that. Advantages and disadvantages of not having a policy. Do you believe not having a policy is a good thing for education, etc., etc. When in terms of policy, it could be anything. It could be the school, uniform policy, for example, behavior policy, and it can go on and on. It's not really specific, but as long as you can write about something and go deep into it. And then it would discuss a lot about your values as a teacher and what you feel what a teacher means. But also, it's not just a teacher. What do you define as a professional? I'm going to be honest with you, this one is probably the most, not as fun modules out of the 3, but that's why we put it first. We put it first, you get it out the way, and then the fun happens. So like I said, the goal for module 1 is just a 4,000 word assessment, and it's 100% graded on your assessment, and it includes like I just mentioned there, class observation reports and teaching experiences that you're currently doing you can write about in your assignment. I was just about to mention something as well. So what we've been doing over the past couple of years, and it might be different now, Mary will be able to talk you a bit more about what's changed for 2025, but you will be allowed to submit the assignment to one of the course leaders for a guidance. So we'll be able to read up to 1,000 words of your assignment, and we'll be able to read it and give you some feedback to let you know that you are going down the right path or not. The reason why we set this restriction of we can only read 1,000 words is because, as you know, we have over 800 people on the course this year. 800 people from across the world. So as you can imagine, all of the board directors, your course leaders, your course director has to read these 4,000 words assignments. So if we was going to give you some feedback before we grade it, it makes no sense. We might as well have just spend that time grading. So we just set a cap, write 1,000 words, send it in, and we can let you know what direction you go in and stuff like that. But also you can have a one-to-one with any of your tutors. They'll send you your calendar and you can book them in. And if you wanted to have a quick 15-minute Q&A or one-to-one, oh, I'm talking about, uniform policy. I don't know if I'm going around down the right direction. Could you guide me? Completely fine. We're all here to help at the end of the day. Module 2, the abbreviation is DSC. This is also 20 credits and it stands for Developing Subject Competence. This module helps refine your subject knowledge and develop effective teaching strategies. So for some of you, you are teaching a subject, PE, Chinese, English, math. A lot of you are science teachers. This is your time to shine. You can talk about your certain subject area, but also you can talk about your age range as well. A lot of you are early years and a lot of you would be primary or secondary. Secondary will be classed as high school and a little bit of middle school in the UK. So if it says secondary, now you know, middle school, high school. Primary with primary, no problem. And then early years. For those who are teaching university, you can talk about that as well, but we would probably try, at university level, you're more likely to be wanting to talk about subjects because at university level, you're most likely a subject teacher. So this one is a lot more fun because it's a lot more about you. It's not about your school. It's not about what your professional values and practice is about. This is about you, and it's developing your competence in your subject area or your age group, and it's your time to shine. Now, again, module 2 is a 4,000 word assignment, just like module 1, very similar layout. This one includes your subject expertise and policy studies supporting with appendices. Now, when I mean supporting appendices, this could be like supporting documents. So in this module, you will be talking a lot about your classes, and what you're teaching. You may need to maybe gather some sort of appendices that you can show in your assignments. For example, it could be a WeChat group with parents and the feedback that they're giving you, or it could be homework that you're giving to a student on a Friday, and you can show their work. So in your assignment, you can put some pictures in. For example, a picture of the homework that you gave, as well as the instructions that you gave that student, how you marked it. You can go on and on and on. However, you're not allowed to share any pictures of your students in the assignment. So if you've got a picture of you in a group class, you're going to have to edit that picture and blur their faces. It's just because of, off the top of my head, what is the lingo? It's all about, protection of the child, really, because your assignment's going to get sent to external auditors as well. And obviously we don't want to cause any trouble because we didn't get any consent from the parents, although we got some consent from your school, but it doesn't go as far as sharing pictures of children in the assignment. So we're not allowed to do that. And if you do, they'll just send back your assignment and tell you straight away, delete that picture. But you're more than welcome to include them. Just maybe put, some people last year put an emoji over their children's faces, and you can just leave you in there next to the classroom board. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to include pictures. For art teachers, for example, you want to show off your work, that's fine. You can include those pictures and you can put it as an appendix or a figure. Just don't include any people's faces. You can only include yours. That's completely fine. Just for consent. Now, this is where the fun gets going. Module 3, SBIS, and it stands for School-Based Independent Study, and it's also 20 credits. This is not really, it is an assignment, but it's not 4,000 words. It's called an action research. And this is about researching an independent area in education. So you're going to go through what is an action research. You get to choose a research topic. We can guide you on there's millions you can go down, which paths you want to go down. And the ethical issues and principles. This was a great topic for COVID, because when COVID was happening, you can talk about all sorts of effects that you can see what happened, in 2020 and 2025. So even now, for example, my daughter, she's 5 years old, and you can see the effects, you know, of what the early years of COVID and how it did affect education, especially you guys here in China as well. It's a great topic to talk about. And again, like we mentioned in module 1, about your school not having a policy, about schools in China, you know, you've got experimental schools, bilingual schools, and the whole facade, what education's like. It's great topics to talk about, because at the end of the day, this is what the course director wants to see is the culture mixing in with education and debating about it, because we get students from Brazil, United Arab Emirates, Europe, UK itself, China, Thailand, and it's unbelievable what the teaching and culture is like and how they intertwine. So this module is 100% based off your assignment, but there's a breakdown of the assignment. So there's a 3,000 word digital poster that you would make. So we'll give you some examples, but if you guys are loving Canva at the minute, or if you're great on Photoshop, or if you just enjoy Word, we give you the opportunity to create a flyer or a digital poster, creative you know, skills. But if you're not very IT savvy like myself, you can just type it on Word, it's fine. And there's an option. You can either submit your assignment, you can either record your voice as like a commentary and talk about your action research, or you can just put it in a script. That's completely fine. Before you would write the assignment, there is a 1,000 word ethical application. And this would to go through the consent of what you're going to do in your actual research to one, find your hypothesis, how you will carry out the research, what consent you've got to do that research. It's so much fun. This is a really fun. It's basically the key steps to a qualified teacher. And the ethical application is a lot of fun because it does teach you a lot of, wow, we should have actually got permission in these areas. And especially in 2025, when we're dealing with children and how sensitive, you know, data, privacy, blah, blah, blah is, it's very important to understand the ethical issues and practicalities of that. So yeah, we're going to do a 1,000 word ethical application that you submit, and it'll go through, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to collect homework. I'm going to ask parents permission to share it. I'm going to create group chats with the parents so we can get some feedback. This is the survey I'm going to design. So much fun. And that's it. That is literally it. So you've got the 3 modules, and each one is 20 credits, giving you 60 credits. We're going to go through the yearly calendar. So I'm going to show you what your year is going to look like. That's okay. Bear with me. I'm not tech savvy. Okay, can everybody see? Okay, so this is your calendar, and I'm going to send you this probably in a PDF format, and I'm also going to show you a link where you could find it. Another student asked me, oh, can you send me the link to link with my calendar? I don't have that. I only have this PDF. So you'd have to, if you want to add in the deadline dates yourself, more than welcome. But throughout the year, I'm going to post these deadlines, and I'm going to try and remind you every week of, you know, the assignment deadlines, so you guys don't miss out on anything. So this is how the assignment is. We're here just before the welcome induction from Mary, which would start on the 16th. So you have 2 weeks of induction. So nothing is going to start straight away, because we're still actually processing applications, and a lot of you who are in this meeting right now haven't got your acceptance letter, and that's why. It's because we're still going through the applications. So therefore, we're going to give you a 2-week buffer, and this 2 weeks is for you to get familiar with your student account, which I'm going to go through in a minute, because there's a difference. There's a welcome account that I've got you all to register with, and then there's a student account. Your welcome account is to welcome you to the university and to set up your passport, you know, to submit your passport, your selfie, and the enroll task. And the enroll task is very important for 2 reasons. One, it gives the university statistics of ethnicity, religion, gender, blah, 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 blah. That's why those questions are there. The second one is it's to confirm your enrollment, because then it legally puts you into a contract with the university and say, yeah, you're going to be doing the course, and therefore it creates everything nice and accredited, and then it will create the tuition task, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So after you've done your welcome account, you'll get a student email, and the student email is through Microsoft 365, and that can give you free access to Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Microsoft Teams that we're on right now. You get all that paid, the paid service. It's all free for you students, for your student account. So someone was asking me, oh, I don't have Word. I have some crazy one called WPS. I said, no, download Word. You get it for free. You just use your student email to log in and it's all free. So happy days. I hope that's cheered someone up. But yeah, so those 2 weeks is basically for you to get familiar with your student account, because your student account is different to your welcome account. And your student account is where you'll find all your modules and where all the good stuff is. And you will have some induction drop-ins. Like I said, there's 800 students on the PGCE course from around the world. So we have to do many of these to fit different time zones across the world. Now, the most important date you want to look at is here. PVP starts on the 29th of September. This is when module 1, which is PVV, Professional Values and Practice. This is when the module gets unlocked on your student account and you can go and access everything. However, I have got some early access to that module, and next week I'm going to share you the last year's module handbook that you'll be able to have a look through and get an idea before the module starts, which is fun. And let's have a look. You're going to have, boom, near enough 2 months to finish your assignment. So every week there'll be drop-in sessions that are optional to join, and they're all recorded. So if you miss them, you could just play them back and basically just go off and take away what topic you did that week and just write it in your assignment. You can even write your assignment in week 1 if you're confident enough, and at the end, you know, the last week, just fill in the gaps of whatever. Or if you're a student who wants to do it the night before, go for it. But I would recommend that you guys do attend every week's session if you can, or if you do miss it, just play it back, because there just might be a tip and trick that you might miss and you think, wow, that's actually a really good topic I didn't actually write about, or wow, that's a great way to and etc. Because a lot of training involved in those who are not used to Harvard referencing, which is what we use at Leeds Beckett University. We do APA as well. However, you would need to state that in your assignment which reference style you're using, but we do prefer that you use Harvard referencing. And there is a module tutorial and training you'll go through here somewhere about Harvard referencing, so don't panic. Okay, this is where the deadline is. So you need to submit your deadline on the 17th of November. However, you get something what's called a blanket week. And this is basically just a 1 week extension, like a deadline extension. So they're not very strict on the deadline. So they say, oh, this is the deadline, submit it before this date, but they will give you an extra week. The reason was, it's something to do with it being online and with you having your full-time job. They give you a blanket week. So if you submit the assignment within here before the 24th, you won't get penalized. You won't get a penalty, basically. But if you submit it after the 24th, for every day late, it's 5% penalty off your score. However, that'll get capped at 50. So to pass the assignment, you need to get at least 50%. If you get over 60%, it's classed as a merit. And if you get over 70%, I'm going to have to double check those figures. If you get over 70%, it's classed as distinction. And if you get a distinction overall, or a merit overall, that would actually get written on your certificate. So it's fantastic if you guys aim for your, you know, distinctions in your assignment, because then you'll get postgraduate certificate in education with distinction, which is a really nice addition to your certificate. 1st of December is when DSC starts. That's the second module, developing subject competence. Now, Christmas time, they have 2 weeks off. So from the 15th to the 29th, there will be break time for the tutors and the lecturers and professors in the university. So you won't really have any sessions during those 2 weeks, but you still have access to your student account and you can still go through all the materials, but you just won't be able to get a very fast reply from Mary herself because she's on Christmas break. Then when you come back, it says here assessment and examination period. This is for those who are on campus. They go through exams. Because our course has no exams, you don't need to worry about this, but this is where the whole university would have exam period. And some of the course leaders that I showed you before, they have multiple responsibilities in the university, so they might not be available during that week because they may need to sit in an exam or they need to do some marking somewhere. So you won't be able to get in touch with them during this time. Here we go. So your module 1 feedback will get released around January, so you can see how well you did. And if you didn't do well, you can then resit submission. So you get a second chance if you got a score below 50, which is always nice. Then module 2's assignment deadline would be technically the 16th. They'll tell you it's the 9th, but it's not. It's the 16th, as long as it's before the 16th, which is fabulous because Chinese New Year's Eve is the 15th, I believe. No, it is the 16th, and 17th would be the actual New Year's Day. So all this is holiday for you guys, which is perfect to write your assignment, you know, during Chinese New Year. Then on the 23rd of February, you'll still be off because you probably won't return to 2nd of March. So during this week, before you go back to school for semester 2, most of us, you'll start module 3, which is your school-based independent study. And then that one is due the 4th of May. So what happens after the 4th of May? So technically you will be finished this week, the 27th of April or the 4th of May. You're finished. You've done all your modules. So during this time, you'll get the chance to maybe resit your module if you didn't do so well. So you've got from May till, I think it's here, June 29th, to resubmit any modules that you didn't do so well on. So what happens after here is that your assignments get sent off to an external auditor, and the external auditor will basically remark them because they need to check if there's no, you know, say if one of you is related to Mary, what's stopping Mary giving you 100 out of 100 and it was a rubbish assignment. So an external auditor, it's a legal requirement in the UK to recheck to make sure that it wasn't, you know, giving away marks where they shouldn't do. Not to panic, because most of the time your grades actually go higher because the university might be so harsh because they get audited and they don't want to lose their job. They would probably mark you a little bit lower, and then when they come back at the end of June, start of July, your marks will actually go back up because they're normally really nice and they'll give you better marks than you deserve anyway. So happy days. And then we go into graduation, and graduation will be this week here, 51. There's going to be 2 graduations, and I'm going to talk about that later in this meeting. So that is your calendar, and I'm going to share this with you guys, and it'll have all the important dates. But how easy is that? You just need to remember, you know, when does it start? Module 1, when does it end? When does module 2 start? When does module 2 end? When does module 3 start? When does module 3 end? Now, I'm not going to say it's easy because you actually have to write your assignments yourself. And it's 4,000 words. It's a level 7. It's a very prestigious qualification. You know, this isn't just a 120-hour TEFL certificate. This is a full-on postgraduate certificate in education. So when you graduate, it should be a very proud moment because not only have you improved your own career, you've actually improved all the students that are around you and those future students that you're going to teach. And you're going to influence them to be, you know, better people in the future. You're going to shape the world with this qualification. So you should be very proud of that, and big round of applause for you guys to actually sign up and put yourselves through this. So congratulations, but also Jiao for all Chinese teachers there. So I'm going to now move on to the next one. I'm going to answer your questions very soon, guys, and I've got a lot of messages. I'm going to try and power through, okay? Graduation. So it's going to happen on the 14th of July in Leeds. And yes, you are invited to come to the UK to attend your graduation. I just came back in July from the graduation as well. I'll be there, and it's so much fun. You get to come to the UK and you get to graduate. You get a nice scroll. You get to take pictures with Mary and Leanne and Tracy and Steve Burden, who's a really nice professor there as well. And you get to meet people like myself in person, and it's so much fun. However, you know, it's not free. It's free. Graduation's free. But we're not going to pay for your flights or your hotel. You're going to have to pay for all that yourself. But we will help you through those who need a visa to the UK. We're more than happy to help you get the visa if you want to come to a graduation. You are invited. It's optional. If you don't attend a graduation, there is a second option. There's going to be graduation in Qingdao, China, on the 21st of August. So there's going to be graduation in one of the stadiums in Qingdao, and it's going to be so much fun. Mary will fly over to Qingdao to attend the graduation. I will be there myself. to give you, you know, everything that you need at graduation, and your certificate will be ready in Qingdao, and I'll give you your certificate. These are optional, by the way. It's not mandatory to join graduation, but there is a cost if you want to join the China one. Right off the top of my head, I don't know the cost, but it's not very expensive. So if you guys are around and you're not traveling, come to graduation in China. But if you want to go to the UK, happy days. Both, you can go to both. If you want to go to zero, no problem. Because if you don't go to graduation ceremony, you'll still get your certificate. I'll just get your address and we'll ship it to you, no problem. A lot of people have been asking me about apostille certificate. So this is what your certificate will look like. It's a photocopy. It looks a lot better than that. So this one's a bit more in black and white, but you will get it apostilled. So what does this mean? So basically, for those who want to use it as a visa in China, you can use this as a visa. It'll be visa ready. You don't need to have the Chinese embassy stamp anymore from documents from the UK. That's because UK and China are now both in the Hague Convention. Therefore, the apostille is all you need. So when you go get your visa, you will need, you can get your visa with this PGCE, of course. And it's great to add points and scores to those going for a green card, because it's a lot higher than a bachelor's degree. So you're actually getting more points on your education score for those going for a green card. But yeah, apostille, and it will come apostilled. However, that is an extra charge. It's not free. So we'll talk about this in January, February, but we highly recommend that once you get our message, I'll send you guys an email when this service is open and you can apply for it. And yeah, you can get apostilled. Basically what we do is we get the certificate, we send it to, you know, from Leeds, it goes to London Legislation Office, and then it'll get apostilled. And then from there, it gets sent back to the office, and then we distribute it on a plane by hand. One of our staff members do take them on a plane, so then it's express shipped to China. And then once it's in China, we send it with SF, so it's next day delivery. Very smooth, all protected, very safe. A beautiful, you know, bonus for you guys. Yeah, apostille certificate. But yeah, we can ship it across the world. So a lot of people, if you are from the UK, I think 20-30% of you are from the UK, we could just send it to your parents' house. Or if you're in the UK during that time, no problem. We'll come and get it delivered with Royal Mail. South Africa, Russia, we can send it anywhere. Okay, let's get on to your welcome account. So most of you have set up your welcome accounts, and I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of things. This is the welcome account. It's not your student account, it's your welcome account. Could not connect to the server. We'll refresh that one. If you've not created your welcome account, you're going to click here where it says create a welcome account. You can't miss it. You honestly can't miss it. It works without a VPN, and I recommend that you use all the stuff without a VPN because it's very slow with one. Your student ID, you'll find that on your email. If you don't know where it is, you can message us in your application group. Black or myself will send you your student ID, your email, and your date of birth. Once you click, you're in. You'll ask you to create a password, and I'm going to now click login. So once you've got an account and you want to return to your welcome account, you want to click this one here, login. Don't click here. It's going to take you to somewhere else. You want to click here, login. So we're going to quickly log in, and I'm going to log in as Alex, if that's okay, Alex. Don't mind me. 3 tasks to complete. I have the first one, which is uploading a selfie. And a lot of you asked, why do I need to do that? I'm not studying on campus. Well, guess what? You can actually get you do get a student card, a physical card, and it's sat on my desk in the UK. Well, they're not printed yet, but once they're printed, they're on my desk, and all I've got to do is just basically get them on a flight when I'm back and bring them back to China and send them with SF to you guys. So if you're interested in getting your student card, just message me and we'll arrange it for you. Just have to cover the fees because, you know, flight and whatever, postage clue, but it shouldn't be expensive at all. But yeah, if you want your student card as a souvenir, or you can even use that student card then to get like discount on Netflix, Spotify, because you now class as a student, you get that discount. You can even take that to Apple and you get 20% off Apple during their time when they're giving away, you know, freebies. I know right now if you go into Apple, you can get a Mac really cheap with student discount. So that's good fun to have a student card. ID check. Upload your passport. It's going to ask you for a reference here, description. In here, you just type in your, it's that simple. And then you upload the picture. We recommend PDF. And as you can see here, she's already uploaded one. And it will show on the homepage as not complete. That's because the course administrator has not verified it yet. Give him 10 days and then as a green tick. Next, you're going to do the enroll task. I'm not going to do it now because we're running out of time, but I'm going to show you a quick tip because a lot of you have been having issues with it. So you're looking for a postgraduate certificate in education. It will say full-time and it will start on the 15th. That is correct. You're going to see the 3 modules that I just spoke about, credits each. That's fine. Some of you might have 4, some have 3. That's fine. As long as the 4th one says 0, that's completely fine. Here, this is where you guys are going to have an issue. So when you get to the bottom, you click save, and it's like, oh, it doesn't want me to go next. It says something wrong with my phone number. It's not your phone number. Yes, it's because you've got too many characters online. Let me give you an example, right? So let me just copy and paste. So what's the difference between home address and term address? This is mainly for those that are studying on campus, but basically it's asking you, where do you live and where you're going to live while you're studying? For us who are online, it's going to be the same. So we would just put the same. Oh, they fixed it. Let's see. See. 505326. So sorry guys, I know this is boring for you. I just want to show you if it, there you go, look, save failed, contact telephone number, home address, term address. It's nothing wrong with your number, it's the address. It's this, look, too many characters. So what would you do? You would just copy that, pop it in line 2, simple as that, done. It doesn't accept Chinese characters as well, so don't bother putting any Chinese. It has to be in English, and this isn't important anyway, because your certificate will get sent to us and we'll send it to you guys anyway to make sure that it doesn't get sent to random places. So that's it. So that's all I wanted to show you. Now this is where the fun begins. I'm going to quickly go through how to set up your account. Oh, okay, let's do payments. Telling me to talk about payments. So once you've completed your enroll task, a separate task will appear called tuitions task. Now this task is a dummy task, and what that means is it's just a filler to get you to pay your tuition, and it gives you a link to pay your tuition. You can pay in Great British pounds, some of you have paid in rand, some of you have paid in euros. That's completely fine. So yeah, you can pay on your Visa or MasterCard. PayPal as well is an option. However, RMB and CNY is an option. However, not Chinese citizen, it won't work. So for RMB and CNY, this is done outside of your tuition task. So because they don't accept the RMB, what we're doing to help is basically we will collect your RMB and then just pay it into pounds through our company itself. So if you ever do want to pay in RMB, you just need to go onto your application group, message myself or Black. She will share you the instructions. She's got the Alipay, she's got the WeChat, she's got the bank details and what you need to put in the reference. So then the money can be transferred to university successfully. If you do forget to put your reference, just let us know and we can manually track where your money is and link it to your accounts. But yeah, it won't show up on your tuition task. It's because you paid outside of that. It's going to stop you from studying. It's not going to stop you from continue to do your course. The tuition task says incomplete or not complete. That's completely fine. I know a lot of you have done bank transfers to the university, or you did it through Flywire or whatever you're going to be using, and it doesn't show up. Don't panic. You received your money. It's just that is a dummy task. It's not connected to payments made outside that task. So if you paid in RMB, it doesn't come up, or it says incomplete. It doesn't matter. We're not focusing on welcome account anymore. It's a dummy tuition task that you don't need to complete. you'll still be able to log into your student account. And for those of you, you will get a receipt. If you paid in RMB, you will get a receipt. It gets sent to your email. However, up to 50 to 30 days for that receipt to arrive. And we don't provide FAPIAs. The university don't provide FAPIAs because we're in the UK, and we can provide you an invoice, however, because a lot of you want to use it for tax cuts in China. So you can send it to you can put it on your tax app in China that you're studying, and it'll ask you for a proof. You can upload your unconditional offer letter that we sent to you, and then you can upload this invoice, and that's completely fine. A lot of students did that last year, and they get their tax cuts in China. So yeah, you can get your invoice and receipt. You'll most likely get your receipts though once you've paid in full, especially if you want to use it to show that the receipt, that it's paid in full. So most of your receipts will come through once the tuition is paid in full as well. Payment options. So a lot of you have been paying the monthly installment plan. That started in May. So you do 10% in May, 10% in June, 10% in July, 10% in August, etc., etc., etc. However, a lot of you have missed that. So you can still join that. You just need to make up the missed payments. So that would be this one here, the third option. You pay 50% before the end of September, and then you can pay 10% a month. There is a 4.5% bank fee surcharge. I think they call it like an exchange from RMB to pounds for that. You can do 50-50 payment, which means 50% is due end of September, 50% due before the end of January. And then the most popular one, of course, because it's a lot, is full payment. So if you made full payment before basically the 15th of October, you will not pay that 4.5%, and you get a little bit of the discount there. So it's a great incentive there to pay full. So if you've got the money in savings or your credit card or whatever, I would just pay it in full basically before the end of October, and then one, you don't worry about any payments that are due. Two, you save 4.5% there. So yeah, those are the 5 main options that I would recommend. First one, pay full. So for example, like on number 2, for example, you could pay 50% now. So I know payday's 10th, and then you could do 50% October 10th, and that's before the 15th, so there's no fee. Or you could do 50% end of September, 50% end of January, 50% end of September, and then do 10% a month, until it's paid off. Both fine. 25% September, 25% October. It's flexible as long as you can see 2, 3, 4, and 5. They all require 50%. But the best ones is number 2 and 2. So if you get it, your tuition paid before October, there's no fee. I hope that's clear. So basically, those paying in pounds, you can go through your tuition task. It'll open up the portal, details. You're paying in RMB, drop us a message. We'll send you the instructions on how to pay through Alipay, WeChat, or your Union Pay. Okay, student account. Let's go. Okay, so once you want to sign in, I will send you the link, but basically it's this link here. It's my.leedsbeckett.ac.uk, and if I was you, I would just save it to your favorites so you don't lose this page. But to log in, you're going to need your user ID and password, and to find that, we go to your account, you scroll down here where it says important information and task, and you want to look for this one here where it says university login details. Ta-da! Here are your login details. Don't use these because this is not you. This is for another student, but you can find yours in your welcome account. So your user ID is your student ID, KC. So we're just going to copy and paste this here, and then we're going to type in. And once I pass one temporary password, come up to tell me to change my password. Now what happens is going to take you to Microsoft. Oops. Sorry guys, told you I wasn't tech savvy. Okay. So once you've put in that temporary password, it's going to tell you to update it. Now it's going to send me to, put my password in again. It's going to take me to Microsoft 365 to sort out your student email, because now you need to secure your account. What that means is you add an authenticator app code to your university, because Education is power. Basically, they want the university's student account and your email to be like Fort Knox. So you're going to have to create loads of codes that we're going to show you now. So as you can see, it comes up, do you trust Leeds Becky? Of course we do. Continue. And then we're going to now set up your student email. I'm just going to do this because it's a quick tip. A lot of people get stuck here because this is very, very technological. A lot of people are using phones like Xiaomi, and you can't get Microsoft Authenticator on the App Store. So there is a way to bypass this. If you understand what an authenticator is, and you have one on your phone, or you want one, download this one, Microsoft Authenticator. It's really, really good. Keeps your account secure. It'll just generate a 6-digit code, and it'll change every 30 seconds. If you understand how it works, next, and it will basically show you a QR code that you would link with your Microsoft Authenticator app. It is very, very hard to explain. So I recommend that you just take the easy route, click this button here. I want to set up a different, you want to click it, and then you want to scroll down here where it says phone. And what this is, you can put in your Chinese number, +86, go to China, +86, type in your phone number, receive a code, and basically that will give you a code and it will link it to your phone. So every time you want to log in, you'll just receive a code, put the code in, and you're logged in. Then when you click next, it will come up again about the Authenticator app. Again, repeat the method, click this, and then there'll be an option to click email. Then you just click email, get the code sent to your email, done. So step 1 would be phone, step 2, you change app to email, and that's it, you're done. After your student account, it will then take you back to the university login page, and then you can log into your student account. We're not going to do it today, but you guys can go off and explore that. Just click down here, go to your welcome account, university login details, that's your user ID, put that into the user ID section, use your temporary password, change it to something you're going to remember, has to be 12 letters, includes a capital letter, a symbol, and a number. So please don't forget it, because if you forget it and you've linked it takes forever to change your password. So please just remember the password, because you're going to be using it every day for the next 10 months. Okay, so that's your student account, welcome account. Guys, I think that is it. And look at that, I've nearly spent an hour. Boom. So this is my Calendly link. You can, I'm going to share this after the meeting. You can book a meeting with me if you ever wanted to one-on-one. If you're struggling with your welcome account, if you're not very tech savvy, you can book a meeting with me and I can share my screen and share your screen, and we can how to set up the student account if you're struggling. If you want any advice, if you're having payment trouble, if you are struggling with mental health, you know, I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist, but I'm a very good listener and I don't judge, and I'm here for everyone. So please don't feel like you're alone. There's loads of us in China that are doing this course. You can reach out to the support group. There's so much support, guys. You have no idea how much we're here for you. We're not here from, you know, just for application. We're going to be with you throughout this. So yeah, please just pick a link and you can book a quick 30 minutes with me whenever you want. Make sure it's China time zone, and yeah, hope that helped. Otherwise, it's going to drag on. If you've got any questions, guys, please reach out in the support group now. If you're not in the support group, please message me privately. You should all be in a support group. It'll say LBU PGCE support 2025-2026, and then a number of what class you're in. There's 4 classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, I hope that helps, guys. I think I didn't miss anything. Guys, your support really means a lot. You don't have to say thank you guys. Remember, you are the teacher, and what you guys are doing is so important. You should be really proud of yourselves. You're going for a level 7 postgraduate certificate in education. You're changing people's lives. You're actually going to make your student lives better. So a big pat on the back to you guys. Don't thank me. Thank you for you guys. You guys, honest to God, we need to change the world, and this is how we're going to do it. So thank you very much for you guys to put yourself through this hell for the next year. But I promise you it's going to be a roller coaster, but a good roller coaster. That's it from me, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm so sorry to take up most of your time. If you've got any questions about payments, PGCE, tax cuts, please message me. My phone's blowing up, so if I don't reply to you over the next 24 hours, it's because I've got 800 students to reply to. But please drop me a message anytime. I'm going to drop you guys my link that you can book into a calendar with me if you ever want to have a one-to-one about anything. Mary's going to cover a lot about her course and some tips and tricks about the first module.